and evening into the Riyadh night sky, because not only will there be Saint-Tropez Pirates celebrations, but there will be Berlin Eagles celebrations, your new Global Champions League winners. And it was tight, it was risky, but the Berlin Eagles got over the line, and we'll unpack all of that for you a little bit later on and show you just how we now finally, officially have new GCL champions for 2022. But we can take nothing away from today's podium finishes, from today's top finishes, because whilst the Berlin Eagles were able to finish in 7th place, far better than the 13th of Stockholm Hearts, it was about the Saint-Tropez Pirates, about the Paris Panthers, and about the Shanghai Swans. So let's take a look at Riyadh, stage 15, and remind you how we got to this point. The Saint-Tropez Pirates looking to try and become the only team to stay double clear. The first victory of the 2022 season got underway firstly with Mikey Pender and HHS Calais delivering a clear again, as he did in round 1. It opened the door for Daniel Deusser and Scuderia to come through and follow suit, because much like the young Irishman, Daniel Deusser then provided another clear like he did in round 1. Double clear for Daniel Deusser, double clear for Mikey Pender, and because of that, a double clear for the Saint-Tropez Pirates that proved to be the only double clear of the afternoon. But they knew that Paris Panthers were to follow, and there was some added pressure in the Paris Panthers lineup, because not only did Ben Meyer need to jump well for the Paris Panthers, but he would have been keeping an eye on the LGCT Grand Prix of Riyadh to come. He wanted to qualify. He wants to go on and win that title tonight. And Ben Meyer and Feltic HP made no mistake, jumping clear, qualifying for the Grand Prix, but also putting the Paris Panthers in a really strong position. Harry Smolders making sure that he then was able to jump with just a single fence down, 4 penalties for him. And whilst it meant they would not go on to win the stage, a podium looked guaranteed, knowing that Madrid in Motion were to follow. Now, Madrid in Motion eventually fell away, unfortunately. 4 for Michael van der Vleuten, 8 for Eduardo Alvarez Aznar. It took the team to 12 and saw them fall completely out of the mix. It meant that a podium was guaranteed for the Paris Panthers and a win was guaranteed for the Saint-Tropez Pirates. But who then would take up the 3rd place on that podium? A team that at one stage looked to be under pressure to hold on to the top 4 in a championship perspective. But the Shanghai Swans, bringing in Martin Fuchs and Leon J, go on to jump clear in his 2022 Global Champions League debut of the season. High fives from Max Kuna, who was substituted out for Martin Fuchs, who may have made his debut late, but will be a huge asset for the GC playoffs in Prague next month. Christian Ullmann, much like Ben Meyer, was jumping for the team, but was also jumping as an individual on Dominator to qualify for the Grand Prix and to keep the pressure on Peter de Vos and on Ben Meyer. Ullmann delivered, Dominator delivered, and with it meant that the Shanghai Swans stayed on their score of 4 and were able to get onto the podium. So before we celebrate the seasonal winners, the championship winners, it is important to celebrate the stage winners. As we see Jan Tops, the president and founder of the Global Champions League, standing by for the winners' ceremony. And there we see the Saint-Tropez Pirates, Daniel Deusser, front and center. Superb jumping from him and from Mikey Pender today, actually all weekend long, as both men stayed double clear to go on and finish as the champions of Riyadh, finishing ahead of the Paris Panthers and the Shanghai Swans in 3rd place. Your podium for Riyadh 2022, Saint-Tropez, Paris and Shanghai.
Delivered the 0 score for Saint-Tropez Pirates. It is Mikey Pender and Daniel Deusser.
يتوج الأبطال أصحاب المركز الأول صاحب السمو المرعب الأول والسعود رئيس الاتحاد السعودي للجنسية. يتوج الآن فريق سانت-تروبيه بايرتس بالمركز الأول. ألف مبروك.
Abdullah, first of all, congratulating Daniel Deusser, Scuderia Duchinove, DC Tobago seeing winners.
There's Michael Pender with HHS Calais. Once again, a double clear for him this season. of this Pirates team.
Also stepping forward to congratulate our winning pair is Jan Tops, founder and president of the Global Champions League. And Mr. Tops will make the presentation now to our runner-up team.
Second-ranked team,
Go to the pair
Paris Panthers, with Ben Meer on Faltic and Aris Molders on Monaco NOP. Jan Tops with the trophy, and for Ben Meer, still on Faltic, which is somewhat of a surprise that he didn't bring out Lazio for this award ceremony. Ben Meer, he will now focus on the Grand Prix and try to write history for a record-breaking third launching Global Champions Tour title. In that Grand Prix, of course, also the final 15th golden ticket for the launching Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at grabs. And as an example, Christian Alman, who is trying to come to the award ceremony, to the presentation, has switched from Dominator to solid gold. So Dominator can rest. It's a much more quiet, the sinner of Martin Fuchs that is there in the award ceremony, with Leon J resting in the stable for the Grand Prix. And Halman, with a very excited solid gold, is coming nowhere near the presenting party of this award ceremony. The Swans are third here at this stage, but they are fourth on the final standings. Third in the standings are the Lions. The second runner-up in the championship on the debut season are Stockholm Hearts. Berlin Eagles win the championship. We will have that award ceremony in a minute. But the winners of the stage with their first win of the season, that is Saint-Tropez Pirates with Daniel Deusser and with Michael Pender. And so the victory gallop for that team, with a lot of excited horses, still fresh. And as this award ceremony comes to an end, we can get ready for the big championship crowning, the coronation of Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Reitsport. As we'll have one final look at the standings. Berlin Eagles, Bunny Hop, Leapfrog, Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, and the Lions just fend off the Shanghai Swans. The Lions had a 5-point lead. In the end, it's a 3-point lead on Shanghai Swans. But it is enough. And so the top three is known. And they will be honored and awarded in a minute's time, as we take you through the best moments of this season, the 2022 Global Champions League.
He's in time, and it's a
out for the win, and it is a win. Not here comes Weishaupt for the win, and it is a win. Not just the win in Madrid, but also the lead in the championship. There he goes through the finish line on clear. It is a win for Berlin Eagles. Here comes Weishaupt for a very important double clear. He has got that double clear. It is also the fastest combined time of all teams. Ludger Beerbaum and Philipp Weishaupt.
Christian, the Berlin Eagles are our 2022 season champions. How good?
It feels amazing. I think there was quite a lot of pressure on us this weekend, and both of us said, "Wow, we hope this day goes over quick." And in the end, now we are very, very, very happy. I think we did a great job over the whole season. We took it very serious, and hard work pays always off. And I think that's what it's about today.
Philip, you've been working all year for this moment. Does it feel as good as you imagined?
For the moment, I'm just tired, and I'm happy it's over, to be honest. Waiting since 3 or 4 days here, trying to prepare for exactly this moment. And now it finally happened, so I still can't really believe it. But I'm super delighted. Kobe jumped amazing. He showed what a great horse he is. And I'm very happy we won it now, and we're gonna celebrate a lot, I'm sure.
Christian, you two really are the dream team, but tell us how much of a crucial role Ludger played in all of this.
I think if you look over the whole season, the results, not only us, also Ludger and also Owen and Philip Schulze Topov, he was ashamed that he was injured so early in the season, but we took it very serious. All of us, I think, has a big part of this win now, and like Philip said, we should celebrate that enough.
Philip, lastly, we want to know exactly what was going through your head. Firstly, when you were watching the Stockholm Hearts have another 2 down, and secondly, when you watched Christian had 2 down.
You don't want to know.
But he needs that a bit, so.
No, of course, after the 8 faults of the first day, we said, okay, that's already good to have 8 faults ahead of them, and then another 2 down of Philipp Hartz today, so it's 16. It sounds a lot, but you could see also the one combination, how fast 8 faults happen. And then I was just praying after B, please leave the rest of the rails up. Mumbai finished after the triple very good. And then I had a stumble in the combination A, B, and I said, oh my God, it's not our day today. And I knew I only can have 1 down. I did what I usually did. I didn't go slower, I didn't do anything different. And thank God it worked out. Otherwise it would be a really, really hard way back home.
We're so thrilled for you, and congratulations on being our 2022 season champions.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Smiles on the faces and celebrations guaranteed by Philipp Weissaut and Christian Kuckuck. What a season-long effort this has been from the Berlin Eagles, and what a way for it to all culminate in Riyadh this evening. Jumping sensationally well. Yes, life may have been made slightly easier by the faults made by the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, but the Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Rijsport, still had to do the business. They still had to get through this Uliano Vidzani course. And as we saw, and as mentioned then as well by Philipp Weissaut, that the errors can come around, especially in that double combination and that triple combination. The faults can come quickly. 4 penalties becomes 8 penalties, like it did for Christian Kuckuck. And things can turn around incredibly quickly. 1 down, 2 down, and all of a sudden now, the 16 penalties of the Stockholm Hearts did not look that far away, knowing that Philipp Weissaut still had to jump. So, Christian Kuckuck and Mumbai, 2 rails down, 8 penalties, and putting the pressure on your soon-to-be 2022 GCL champions. They will make their way back into the arena and onto their podium, their award ceremony in a few moments' time. But Christian Kuckuck struggling in that triple combination. Once again, Ludger Beerbaum on the kiss and cry, living and feeling every moment. There was a hard bang on the back rail for Philipp Weissaut. Somehow it stayed up for him and Kobe, and perhaps that was the rude awakening, the galvanizing fence that brought Philipp Weissaut back into the mix. He jumped clear, and with that clear, it meant that they were to be crowned champions. They finish on a weekend score of 8 penalties and go on to better that of the Stockholm Hearts. And they go on to be crowned your champions, finishing ahead of the Stockholm Hearts Prague Lions in third, and the Shanghai Swans in fourth, who round out the top four of the 2022 season and also confirm our GCL Super Cup semi-final spots. Berlin, Stockholm, Prague and Shanghai will jump in the GCL Super Cup semi-finals in Prague. But for now, let's go back to Riyadh and back for our championship podium with your winners, the Berlin Eagles, finishing ahead of Stockholm and Prague.
We've invited our riders to dismount these wonderful horses, being joined by their grooms as well.
الآن الفرسان يقفون على أرض الميدان لإقامة بروتوكول التتويج بكرسية قفز.
After a score of 16 penalties.
So we'll call forward first of all our team taking third place in the 2022 season. Ladies and gentlemen,
In come the Prague Lions, their best ever results in Global Champions League. A team that has been part of the league for many years now. And they have been fighting. Last year they were struggling to find that crucial win that would take them inside the top four. The top four this year was their big goal, and they have overachieved. They finished third and will be the third last team to go also in the semi-final at the GC playoffs, the Super Cup in Prague. Prague Lions are third with here Niels Bruinseels and Peter de Vos. Also, in fairness, riders that have literally carried the team through the championship. But they have made season signings. They have, of course, Anna Kelnerova in their team. Brian Mowgri was a brilliant contributor. Sergio Moya was part of that group. Van Asten with only one appearance, but also Gustav Van Page sits on their roster. Second place, unfortunately for Stockholm Hearts, it is how the sport is being decided. Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M with Marlin Bayer Johnson and Peter Fredriksson, with Nicola and Olivier Philippaerts, and the two Lilies, Lily Keenan and Lily Atwood. But there come the champions. Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Rajport, win the 2022 season and are hereby officially crowned champions.
The bronze trophies for third place to our team here representing Prague Lions.
The beautiful trophy will be presented by His Highness Prince Abdullah bin Fahad Al Saud.
So Prague Lions with a fantastic second half of the season. Saint-Tropez victory in June at Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez, the Longines Nassau Horse Show, winning in Cannes. In the
3 wins for the Lions in Saint-Tropez. That's where it started, really, the belief that it could be done. Then in Cannes, where it was also warm, and then the previous stage, the 14th stage of the season in New York, where he came once again out on top. Every time, of course, with Bruinseels and de Vos, really the anchor man of this team. Nobody this season rode more rounds than de Vos. He really dedicated his entire year to the Lions, but nobody had a lower average penalty per round rate than Bruinseels. He was the safest, the most secure rider of the circuit.
Peter Fredriksson just receiving his trophy.
Peter and Marlin, that's a bitter smile. In fairness, it's a way bigger smile on the faces of Christian Kukuk and Philip Weishaupt as Jan Tops presents the trophy for second. And now the trophy that will go home to Riesebeck, the big silver trophy that you saw, well, that one stays home, stays in Valkenswaard, the spiritual home of the launching Global Champions Tour and, of course, the Global Champions League.
So we'll make sure we have this photo moment with His Highness and Mr. Jan Tops. And now Jan will step aside because His Highness Prince Abdullah will collect the...
And there they stand. That is the podium. Jan Tops
on the season as well. We'll lift these series trophies
alongside Prince Abdullah bin Fahad Al Saud and the 3 leading teams: Prague Lions, Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, and Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Rajport, de Vos, Bruinseels, Kukuk, Weishaupt, Fredriksson and Bayer Johnson from right to left. And there comes that very, very special trophy. The silver trophy with the names of the championship winners engraved on the front. Valkenswaard United in 2016, Hamburg Diamonds in 2017, London Knights in 2018 and 19, and then last year United with their second season win. But now a brand new team for the first time in top four and straight away to the top of the podium. Berlin Eagles powered by Fundis
as well. We are unique in Olympic sports in having an animal athlete. Our partner in sport are these wonderful horses, and we can't say enough about them. We want to recognize
the grooms come into the ring to be awarded, and not just the grooms but also the horses. Because without horsepower and without grooms, there is radically no sport. And that is a bizarre statistic that one has to point out when discussing these teams. Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Rajsport, have brought in 8 horses over the entire season. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, have used double, 16. So the horse management is very peculiar. In the end, that decision results in a 5-point difference, but it is in the advantage of Berlin Eagles. They have used the lowest number of horses of all teams this season. Philip Schulze-Tophoff, very early injured, then a comeback and injured again in Stockholm, has been a part of the team, as well as Owen McMahon, Ludger Beerbaum, and of course the 2 boys here. Jane Richard, also a part of the Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis Rajsport team. Here it's Mumbai and Kobe being awarded, but of course there was Mila, there was Checker, there was Chakra, there was Concordes NRW, Jamal, even Happy Time made an appearance. 2 rounds she jumped in Monaco. If not, it would have been a 7-horse team for the Berlin Eagles. And that is the proof of the dedication, the planning and the management that went around this team, that went into the success story that they have written here. Completely different approach it was for the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M team. Of course, their riders also focused on other competitions, on championships where they had success, but it comes as a price. It comes at a price, and they paid here at the final stage. The Lions, on their hand, they also had to endure a few setbacks. Injuries of horses, injuries of riders, and fortunately they could count on the availability of Peter de Vos and the consistency of Niels Brunsels to drag this across the line. A horse passed away of Sergio Moya, and Leopold van Asten also had to retire horses and see other youngsters not ready for the level. So they brought in Constant van Paasje. Management is key. Over 15 stages with no drop scores and with no place to hide. And he says he's not the manager, but he is. Ludger Beerbaum in Riesenbeck at home has drawn out a plan at the start of the season and has adapted to the incidents the best throughout the season. The double injury, for example, of Philip Schulze-Tophoff, who is competing again, and that is great to hear. Pity that he could not be here after his shoulder and ankle injury. Happy to hear that he's back in the saddle.
What a fitting and beautiful way to end the 2022 GCL season. In Riyadh, champions, the Berlin Eagles, have now gone on to win their first ever GCL title. And what a way to do it. So tight, on a knife's edge throughout most of the competition. And now, late into the season, into the final day, 2 penalties from Christian Kukuk, or at least 8 penalties, I beg your pardon, with 2 fences going down from Christian Kukuk, forcing Philip Weishout to be perfect. Clear he was, and champions they now are. But as you see there, from a seasonal point of view, the rest of our podium has been made up. Let's show you how the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, made their way through GCL round 2. Remember, after their 8 penalties in round 1, they were very early to start. And unfortunately for Olivier Philippaerts, 4 penalties in round 1, 8 penalties in round 2. And Olivier Philippaerts, an H&M legend of love, having difficulty in that triple combination, taking down 2 of those rails. And unfortunately for him, it takes him to a combined tally of 12 for the weekend. And Peter Fredriksson, who did not jump in round 2, Malin Bayard Jonsson and H&M Indiana coming in. She jumped clear. Good performance from Malin Bayard Jonsson, but unfortunately already then the 4 penalties and going on to make it 8 penalties in that second round from Philip Arts meant that the Stockholm Hearts always just felt as if they were a little bit further away. Now, the Prague Lions, who not only wanted to perform well this weekend to go into their home event in top form, but they wanted to make sure that they were guaranteed a GCL Super Cup semi-final spot. Never before have they finished as high as 3rd at the end of a GCL season, so they wanted to perform as good as they can. Peter de Vos on Mons Tupi de la Roque, one eye on the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix tonight, and one eye on the GCL, overlooked by Anna Kellner-Over. 4 penalties for Peter de Vos, and Niels Breinseels on Matador. Absolutely outstanding, by the way. Clear in round 1, clear in round 2. And that kept the Prague Lions on a score of 4. And it made sure that as the rest of the results started to follow through, 4 from Paris Panthers and the 12 from Madrid in motion, it meant now that the Prague Lions were able to go on and stay in 3rd. And it meant, of course, that the Shanghai Swans hold on to 4th. The Shanghai Swans will round out the GCL Super Cup semi-final spots, along with the Berlin Eagles, the Stockholm Hearts, and of course the Prague Lions as well. Now, speaking of the Berlin Eagles, your champions, I believe that Ludger Biederbaum, in fact, might be standing by for us. We'll get to him in a few moments' time. I want to know, the first thing from Ludger Biederbaum is just how difficult was it to make that team decision this weekend? How eager was Ludger Biederbaum to get into the ring this weekend, to have Miller and himself jump on the final day? Instead, great management showed faith and trust in Philip Weishaupt and Christian Kuckuck, allowing the boys to do their work and allowing them to perform at a top level. But don't think that because he was not in the ring, he did not feel as if he was competing every single one of those jumps. Ludger Biederbaum, the manager, the mentor, and of course, a performer for the Berlin Eagles as well, standing by and watching every single moment. The fans back in Riesenbeck will be celebrating, and they will be getting ready for that trophy, for the celebration, for all of the boys to come back home to Riesenbeck and support their team. For now, let's go and hear from Christian Allman with the Shanghai Swans, who go on and wrap up the top 4.
So can I say first job done?
Yes, it was only the first. That's a bit of a shame.
Are you relieved to be in the top 4?
Yeah, we did our job, I think, quite well. It was time-wise not the last risk because the whole course jumps a little bit more difficult than it walks. Honestly, it's a lot of folds, so I think try to jump clear first. So it's a little bit pressure for all the rest, but I don't know, it's enough.
There's more to win for you. What can we expect?
Yeah, there's a lot to win today, so yeah, stay focused and be concentrated. Tommy did a very good job. He jumped very, very well. He gave me a super feeling, so I hope we can keep it like that.
Half the job done for Christian Allman and the Shanghai Swans, but it's an important night still for him as he goes in search of that LGCT overall title. Now, we go back to Ludger Biederbaum. Ludger, I hope we have cleaned up that ear and helped you out. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you very good now.
All right, welcome back. Thank you. I was asking about the emotions. Take me through what has been going through your heart and your mind over the last 48 hours.
Well, of course, we came here to try and get ahead of Stockholm, and knowing that whoever would perform better here in Riyadh could win the title. Then we had a good start 2 days ago with 2 clear rounds. We're 2 fences ahead of Stockholm because they both had 1 down, so 8. But, you know, anything can happen, and today they had 8 and clear, and we had 8 with Christian to start off, and then you kind of, you know, think it's actually not so difficult, but it becomes then again a bit tight and tense. But I have to say, great round from Philip. He also had a bit of a stumble at the beginning in the combination, but he rode it really cool home, clear and fast. So I think I could not be more pleased. But I also would like to say that, you know, to win the overall title, it's not only about the last 48 hours here. It's been a real team effort all year long, the whole season, starting in Doha, all the way. It's not about those two just being here today. It's been the whole team. Philip Schulze-Topov, who had an unlucky season with actually two injuries. Jane has supported us very much. Owen had a few clear rounds and collected a lot of points for us. And then the three of us here. So again, it's been a really, really good year for us. I think a very, very good team spirit. And that's why we are here at the end in the lead.
Absolutely. Ludger, I wonder if you and Mila would have considered competing in Riyadh this weekend. How difficult or how easy was the team selection for you to select Christian Kokok and Philipp Weishout?
It was not so difficult because I think if you look throughout the whole year, the results, the season, they were the two most winning couples. So quite early we have decided to send those through two, and then it was up to maybe Jane or me to be the third. Jane also had a bit of an unlucky tournament in New York. She had an injury afterwards, she couldn't come. And then I originally didn't plan to come, and that was a bit on short notice. So we said, okay, we send these two with two good horses each. So in case something would have happened to one of their top horses, they would have had a second horse. And yeah, it turned out to be the right decision.
And Ludger, finally, I see that 8 horses were used by the Berlin Eagles, powered by Fundis, throughout the season. It's half of the 16 that were used by the Stockholm Hearts this year. I wonder what that says about your strategic planning, your thinking, only using 8 horses. What does that say about the strategy?
Yeah, you know, you choose what you have to choose, and I think the whole setup from us was kind of a little bit a stable team, really. Plus Philipp Schulze-Topov and Jane Richard Phillips, who were from outside, but the rest has been the 4 of us from Riesenbeck. So that was pretty much the team. Our main focus was the GCL this year. We didn't do too many other events also, and the others had more different couples because I think they had the World Equestrian Games, they had probably some other obligations, the Nations Cups. So we were really focused as a kind of a stable team to the GCL, and I think this was our strength.
Well, Ludger Biederbaum, we want to say congratulations to you and to the rest of the Berlin Eagles team, your champions of the Global Champions League for 2022. We will see them in Prague competing for the GCL Super Cup as well, as we officially bring down the curtain on the Global Champions League in Riyadh. But as always with the Super Saturday, it is not just about the GCL. It is about the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Riyadh as well, as that becomes another entire conversation. Ben Mayer, Peter de Vos, Christian Alman go head-to-head for the LGCT Overall Championship. So stay with us here on GCTV as we say goodnight and congratulations to the Berlin Eagles, your champions of 2022.